not being out gay yet and like being like, oh, I gotta find like a girlfriend, and being like, why aren't girls attracted to me? That kind of plays with your head a little bit too when you're younger, and you're like,
they know you're a big old homo.
Yeah, big old homo.
Welcome to the BoyFriends podcast, where we help you find your circle
and your man.
I'm Jarrod D. King. I am here with Noel and Mike, and Renee is not here with us this time, but the guys are going to talk.
She's here in spirit like this.
She's looking over.
Yeah,
us.
like this.
So our topic today is, should the good-looking gays shut up?
No, what do you mean by shut up?
Like, just be quiet and be pretty.
Like, don't make a moment out of this. Like, this isn't your moment.
They're complaining.
Yeah. From when I hear this topic, I think back to 2020, triggering year for everyone, obviously.
Yeah.
But when we're all locked down, but a lot of like the thirst trap post on Twitter, and they would like be talking about COVID, but they would be in like a jock, and it's like,
oh no, there's no water. Jock strap.
Yeah, stay at home, or like be like sad for all the people dying, and then it'd be like whole or something like that, something like crazy. Like that's what I think about when I hear this topic.
Oh, that
like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Like, am I on the right path?
You're kind of on the right track with that. So let me read what I had because it definitely was a Twitter post that I had kind of gotten this. Came up with this question from.
Okay.
And by the way, this has nothing to do with finding your circle and your man, but I feel like sometimes we can go into topics that are just
absolutely
generally just fun, you know, or interesting. So I have a hot guy with muscles tweets out a complaint about how vapid the gay community is. Now he's getting a barrage of negative responses about how he's part of the problem. Is this warranted, or are we just triggered when the messenger doesn't look how we want?
Right.
Okay. It's one thing to see a man who is gorgeous, well-physiqued, to be complaining about. I mean, not saying you have to be gorgeous to complain. Anyone can complain.
Right.
The three of us can complain.
Right.
Well, the thing is like you can't complain if you're gorgeous.
It's like he's not looking in the mirror, and he's complaining about vapid people. So it's like, why are you complaining about this when you come across that way? Like from social media, at least, like that. I understand why he's writing it, but the messenger doesn't make sense, like you're saying. Yeah. It's a hard thing to like.
What it reminds me of is we had an episode like October or something, but I had 3 other guys on the cast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, and there was one guy who was visiting from Europe. He was saying like some of the things that he's been through about like not feeling like he fit in and blah, 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 blah. But then a lot of the comments when I posted his little monologue about that, the response was, oh, like you even know what that is, or like you have no idea what that's about. And my thing was, you don't know what this person has gone through. And regardless of how they present now, you don't know what it was in the past. This is going to sound really conceited. I know a lot of people would say that I'm technically like, you know, a good-looking guy, but I personally, it took me a long time to even feel that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And so it's like once I get to a point of having that confidence, you're almost supposed to mute yourself again,
Right.
because you're not able to speak about certain things or certain gripes you may have with the community or something like that.
You can't come to like the table and talk about it because it's not for you to talk about.
I think it's those men who are insecure about themselves and don't feel they are attractive will be the ones to be like, girl, be quiet, because you don't have no idea. Well, these guys do.
Right.
Like, because you're attractive doesn't mean that you don't have problems. No?
No,
All right, go ahead.
I know. So when it comes to like good-looking people,
Yeah, Mike. What is it like to be ugly?
it's really hard.
Was that shit?
It's really hard.
Comment.
Because obviously he's not ugly.
It's hard. It's hard.
He
No,
looks like a
I'm
Disney
just trying
princess.
what I'm trying to say
He's
is,
like a Disney prince.
I'm
She's
not-
very
He
Disney.
does have a Prince Charming.
Yeah,
kinda,
Prince Charming look.
Thank you. I needed this.
Like, it's like
Me. No, I'm just trying to say people that have a following that are conventionally pretty don't have to always post about everything. And if they want to complain, maybe complain to your friends. We don't have to post everything. I like to complain, not online, but to my friends in a group chat.
Yeah.
Send a nice voice note, and we go on a long rant. That's honestly one of my favorite things to do with a couple of my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like finding your lane.
Yeah.
Because
Insane.
if you don't typically speak out about a certain topic, then maybe you like should not.
Yeah.
If that's not like what your platform is about, I will talk about making connections. I will talk about like talking to somebody and just having that confidence to just walk up to somebody and talk to them and just like make friends or you know. I'm not going to talk about all the other issues in the world because that's not
They're just too
my
many.
expertise.
Right.
That's not my lane.
Right.
Right, and I rather use my resource. We have so many resources. There's better to pull from someone that knows that knowledge and maybe share their wisdom.
Yeah.
with
It's also
others.
like read the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know?
So my question to you, Jarrod, is when you see a hot guy complain on like Twitter or whatever social media platform, what is it that like makes your eyes roll back? Like what the like, oh God.
Sometimes, and I know that we will be talking about body issues. And that's typically what I see. And that sometimes I'm like, okay, if you look at yourself in the mirror and start talking about, oh, like, you know, dad bod and you've got like a 6-pack of abs, it's like,
That's not dad bod.
no. But at the same time, it's like, I know that in the gay community, there are a lot of body dysmorphia issues, and you may not necessarily see what everybody else sees. So I give a little bit of leeway to those of us in the LGBTQ community who will make a post like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't. And I understand that I am the exception to the rule. And so, you know, I never jump into the comments like, oh, y'all shouldn't be getting on him, blah, 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 because I'm not trying to be a pick-me. But at the same time...
No.
But people that also get in the comments and like, why do you have to do all that? I don't know. Like sometimes it is warranted, like when people are posting and like, yeah, they deserved it. But sometimes I'm like, you could have just like let it go.
Scrolled on.
Yeah, like, mom, keep it pushing.
I feel the only time that I roll my eyes when I see that it's a body thing.
Right.
Other than that, you're allowed to complain about anything.
Yeah.
And if you come off humble and like sincere, then yes.
Yeah, but I also I feel like it kind of ties into, because we were talking about reality shows, and we were talking about like we had briefly mentioned the Real Friends of WeHo.
Yeah.
And I feel like that show got a lot of backlash because it wasn't diverse enough. Apparently.
I felt like it was pretty diverse.
There were
I've
3
never seen
black
that.
guys on the show on the cast.
Oh.
So
Yes. Yes.
Well, maybe not.
but I mean, I understand that there is more diversity, but compared to what we have had before, to then have this presented to us and then to be like, oh, this isn't what we wanted. I don't know. And I'm really not trying to get flamed online. I'm really not trying to do that but I feel like there are a lot of moments where we will put a show up there. Like I remember there was a show, I think it was on Amazon Prime, where there was a bunch of lesbians. Like it was like a lesbian reality TV show.
That wasn't the L word. It was something else.
No,
something else.
no. I don't think it was as diverse. I don't even think it was as diverse as the Real Friends of WeHo.
Right.
I think maybe like body diversity, maybe, but it was mostly white. But it's just like you've never had a lesbian reality TV show, so why would we automatically rail against this?
Right.
I don't know. But I'm curious what your guys' thoughts on that, because I feel like, you know, anytime we kind of try to put forward like this certain type of look, there's always an immediate blowback from the community, even though on the sly we're like, oh, I really, you will like all these people's posts or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys get what I'm kind of putting out there?
Right. Like you're willing to follow them online, but if it came to something outside that platform, you're like, why did they get the show? Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like this person has like 300,000 followers for a reason.
Yeah. There's a likability to them.
Yeah.
So why would they be granted the platform to bitch or whatever?
So if they have this audience, why all of a sudden are we seeing, and why are we seeing a lot of hate? Because they suddenly, get a platform on MTV.
Right. A lot of it was the Drag Race fans just being like, we lost half an hour, and it sucked. It really did.
That I get.
Yeah.
That I
Yeah.
get.
Personally, I did not tune into the show because I just wasn't interested. And I do like the Housewives. I was just like,
I gave it a shot.
I'm not looking for
I
this
gave it a
right
shot
now.
to see what the show was about, and I mean, the only person I related to, I mean, not related to, but like felt was humble was Brad.
I like Brad.
Because he was just a buffer. He was just, he's Switzerland.
Yeah.
Everyone else is in cahoots with everybody else.
I do like Todrick's music, but I like his personality outside of that. I'm like, I side eye. I give a big side eye to that.
I think it's fair to give someone a chance to explain their personality and to talk about their life, whatever, and not see what we read. Just like go off their personality by what we read and see whatever.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I only brought that up because I thought that kind of like tied into the idea of like, you know, there are these people that we will put on a pedestal in the community, but at the same time, it's like, you can only do certain things.
Yeah.
And you can only say certain things, or you can only look pretty. You can't have.
Yeah, like they have to manage their self and like pick when they could what they can do.
Yeah.
By the fandom or by fans.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this doesn't involve you.
It's weird because it's like, I'm not saying that the people that are ragging against them don't have a point.
No, it's a good amount of the time they do.
So I don't know. This is like a difficult topic to kind of like unravel. But I do want to ask, if you complain and people don't fight you back, does that mean you're ugly?
Oh my God.
That's a good question.
Are you typically are you like unattractive enough to talk about this topic?
Yeah.
I don't put something out there that I feel that people can have an opinion about what I said. And I have opinions about everything.
And yet you joined this podcast.
And I had joined this podcast. And that's why, you know, some of the comments that we received about even me as a person, I'm like, well, that's just surface. You don't know me really completely. I'm very open with my life and my personal life with the podcast. But, like, other than that, you don't see me day to day. I'm just, whatever I say is through my life experiences.
Right.
And what I know, what I know. I'm not trying to be no one's guru or anything.
Yeah.
And whatever advice I give you is because I've lived it.
Yeah.
And I know what it feels like. I'm going by feelings and emotions.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, I bitch all the time to myself. And there's some times when, you know, how now on Instagram you can, like, put your, like, what's on your mind kind of thing. Like,
I don't have that on mine. And a lot of my friends do. And I'm like, I don't have that.
You have to either.
On your Insta, you don't have that on your Insta?
No, I don't. That does people's like it's like what from like MySpace or like whatever.
AIM, I think. Yeah.
Like they used to have like I don't.
Your away message or whatever.
Yeah,
it
I
was.
don't have that option. Like no one on like my thing pops up like that. And my friend's like, "You're so lucky." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not. I don't know why I don't have it."
Like I will write. Okay, so we're going on
But
a
I
tangent.
think we'd enjoy it though. I would write some dumb stuff. Like
I wrote something really dumb the other day, and it was really hot the other day. And I don't think because I was like expecting a lot of like DMs, like a little even like a little laugh emoji. I got like one from my best friend who like knew my humor.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Happy first day of summer."
Right.
And I was like,
I saw
"That's
that.
funny."
I saw that. I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't
Like
reply.
nobody understands.
No, I got.
Did you
like,
get it?
It's hot. Yeah, I was like, I got it. I'm like, it's like technically summer is not until like June or May.
Right.
June.
I feel like a lot
June.
of people would look at that and be like,
Yeah, it's hot.
"Girl, it's not summer yet."
Yeah.
No, but I got it. Like, it's hot as fuck. It
I'm
should be
glad you got
summer.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Just making sure.
That's because I know kind of your humor is very like
It's very dry.
yeah, so is mine.
That is a good question. Are they ugly? Well, that also plays like if you don't have a. I'm not. This probably sound rude. Ugly people could have a following still too. Like. T. I know that was up.
It's not f***ed up. I just think it's funny.
But you know what I mean? I'm like, if you don't have a following, you're not gonna get any backlash.
Let's
like it
just
really
say
has to
they're-
blow up.
That's
I
true.
don't see it.
Because I got like 10 followers on Twitter because that's just usually for nudes or memes.
okay.
Yeah, so like I don't need anyone following me. But if I like posted something, I don't expect anyone picking this up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have a following, it's hard to
Yeah.
even get backlash.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm trying to get at. Sorry, ugly people.
I wouldn't say they're like ugly.
Right.
I don't know. See, the thing is like, would you ever like if you go out to like the neighborhood, and you go to a bar and like would you say that's an ugly man?
I would think it.
You would think it?
I would think it.
So it's very rare that I would think, ooh,
Oof, girl.
Go back home and try again.
She hit every ugly branch on the way down.
It's very rare.
But like, same time, like I don't think of myself as holier than thou. I don't see myself that way. So like, I wouldn't want anyone to like look at me like, oh.
But see, that's the thing. It's like you don't think of yourself that way.
I don't.
But
I don't.
Even in the last TikTok post that I posted, somebody was like, "Ooh, is he single?" Like,
oh. I don't have TikTok.
I know you don't.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you what the streets are saying.
No, I don't.
But I'm just saying, like, you don't see yourself that way, but other people would look at us. And it was interesting because, like, even in that episode that I had mentioned, we had the guys, and I was like, well, wait a minute, because we can't talk as regular, like, unattractive.
Yeah.
Or whatever. We have
to
be aware that people are going to look at this and see us as potentially more attractive than normal.
Yeah.
I think we're very much diverse.
Huh?
We're very diverse.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm not saying, and that's like, and I want y'all to understand when I say that I don't think that I am above average. I think that I'm just as good.
I look at you and I don't go,
as everybody. I'm glad.
Ooh,
but I'm just like, it's really weird to like talk about this because it's like, how do you not talk about it without acknowledging your own?
Yeah, because then when
level.
you try to like bring it up, people will be like, "Oh, you're just full of yourself."
Yeah.
But it's like, I know the facts. Like I look in a
like
mirror.
I remember I was talking to a matchmaker.
Oh. Did you go through with it?
I didn't go through with it. It was way too expensive.
Oh.
But
you did a matchmaker?
My friend did one before.
Yeah. Did it?
She did not like her options.
Oh.
She now has a boyfriend though. We like him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
But
I never known that was a real life thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw.
Did you never watch Millionaire Matchmaker on
Patty?
Someone brought a clip on Twitter of her. She was such a menace. I miss that lady.
I miss her too.
Menace.
I miss her
Bring
too.
her back.
I read her book, by the way. But anyway.
She's a book?
Yeah.
Bring her back and Tabitha.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was like golden era.
I'm taking over.
But anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But anyway, I met with a matchmaker and I had said something like, I don't think I'm like all that pretty or anything. And he was like, really? And I could tell he was like kind of like rolling his eyes, and I was looking at him like, girl, what?
Right.
You know, like, but you know, and this was a few years ago. But at that time, I did not have the confidence that I have now.
Right.
And he was just kind of like, all right, girl, I'm done with you. Basically, and it's like that was the energy that I got from him. He didn't necessarily say that, but that was the energy that I got from him.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. I mean, I think that was one of the moments where I was like, oh, maybe
It made you like reflect.
I was like, maybe I'm like playing myself down or like putting myself down a little too much in my head.
I think also just growing, for me at least, like not feeling attracted to, well, like not being out gay yet, and like being like, oh, I gotta find like a girlfriend, and being like, why aren't girls attracted to me? That kind of plays with your head a little bit too when you're younger, and you're like,
they know you're a big old homo.
Yeah, big old homo. Yeah, but like you're just like,
Like,
damn,
girl, look at them eyebrows. He's gay.
Listen, I do nothing to my eyebrows.
I love your eyebrows.
Yes,
Everything.
I was born this way. But you start thinking of, well, no girl's interested in me, like then I must be ugly. Like you kind of just like take that on, and then when you realize like, oh wait, no, I'm into men, and it's okay to be into men. And you're like, oh no, I'm attractive.
Was this with your personality right now?
Yeah.
The way you talk and manners, was that the way through?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Well,
yeah, everyone knows. But I was just in denial.
Everybody but you.
I was in denial.
Baby,
Denial.
Helen Keller would know you were gay.
I would hope. But yeah, for me at least, that's how I like perceived myself for a while, was just thinking that as a kid. And then when I was like, no, this is who I am. And then I was like, oh no, I'm good looking. Like, I found people that are interested in me, and it just took a while to realize that, because you know, you try to grow up conventionally, or what you're told, or
Yeah. But I feel that attractive men, not so attractive men can complain. We can complain. Anyone can complain. Just have something like relatable to complain about.
And before you post, if you're gonna post it,
think about it.
Look it over.
Yeah.
And be like, should
How
I
would
be
this
posting
how would this come out?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people, and see, that may be the issue, is like there's no
Editing.
There is no putting yourself in the other person's shoes because it's all about you when you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I relate to more people complain about things that happen in real life and real life situations than like a not a vain opinion. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling so bloated today because I had so much mac and cheese yesterday. I'm like, hence, yeah, anyone would be bloated after eating mac and cheese the next previous day.
The more you think about it, we all just post really dumb stuff that we should not be paying attention to.
That's one thing I will complain about. Like, don't post just two things that bother me is just complaining about both and posting really ugly picture photos of food.
Right. No, that is. Everyone wants to be a Philly food influencer and mama.
I repeat, do not. Do not post your meal on a styrofoam plate and say, "Look what I created."
And then it looks like boo boo.
It looks like garbage.
That's so true though, because I judge those people hard. You said this is presentable. If this was on Top Chef,
presentation, everything.
And as a chef, I probably would grind.
What did he call it? What are the kind of plates? The low vibrational plates.
Yeah, low vibrational plates.
This is a no, but like that plate was not low vibrational. That lady. So mean to her.
Like, don't post.
She got the good stuff.
Like, don't post like, oh, I made my husband his favorite dinner, and it's like
brown mush,
pork chop cutlet, and like canned green beans on a fucking Dixie plate.
You will never catch me posting a home cooked meal on my stories.
I will post. See, I will sometimes post a plate. Well, if I get it from a restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's presented well.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture of that and put it on my stories. It's not going to be a main post.
No.
It might be like, oh, I'm here at like blah, blah, blah. And this is what I'm eating tonight. Like, it'll be like a quick little story that you can swipe through.
Yeah.
It won't be any more than that because I know I am not a food
a foodie.
I want to be a foodie Philly influencer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm neither of those things. Like when I go out to eat, it's because like I'm spending the time and money to go out to eat, which I rarely do, because the price of like how people, price things is ridiculous.
Usually I dive in too fast to take a picture. I'm just like, I'm hungry.
You're like, I'm ready to eat.
Yeah.
So you're not one of those people who likes to like.
Sometimes I will, but most of the time, like if I'm out to eat with like friends and they'll be like, wait, let me take a picture. I'm like, bitch, you better hurry up.
Like hurry up.
Or like if I already dive in, they're like, wait, I want to take a picture. I'm like,
well, what about in like general? Like, are you one of those people who likes to take pictures or you like to just enjoy the moment?
When I'm out, I don't like being on my phone. So I won't really post where I'm out and about.
Which is why you don't ever know where he is.
Yeah.
Why I don't see you out.
I don't really post when I'm out.
Right.
But if someone's like, oh, I'm taking, like, can you take pictures of me? I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, wait, can you take a picture of me? Like, I'm not the first one to engage usually. And then if anything, I'll like record stuff, but then I'll post it the next day. Like I try to do that with concerts. Like I'll take a couple videos of a couple songs I want and then post it the next day. I'm not worrying about posting it there.
Yeah.
Because I want to enjoy the moment.
You're enjoying the moment, right?
I try to be like that as well. Yeah. I mean, I realize like my position as a content creator. No, I mean, but like I try to get photos, but sometimes I forget because I'm just like, I'm trying to enjoy the moment and I'm not trying to be rude around the people that I'm around. So I'm not trying to be on my phone the whole time.
Exactly.
I had a question.
Yes.
Well, you kind of already answered this, and I think I already kind of answered this, but one of my questions was, do you think you're a good looking person? And I guess I can.
My boyfriend thinks so.
Do you?
You, personally you.
Yeah. There's days when I do feel it, and some days I don't. There's days I wake up, I'm like, oh, her skin looks good today.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's when I will post something of a thirst trap on my close friends because I'm feeling myself in that moment. I'm not looking for validation because I feel a certain type of way about myself that very moment. But I think I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say I know I'm good looking, but There's
No,
always those days when
Cheers to you, darling.
there's always those days when you feel like crap. And I would say that's how you feel. You are good looking. It's just it's a down day for you.
Have you had an extended period of time, maybe when you were younger, where you were kind of questioning, like, ugh?
Yes.
Yes, when I would say when, as a baby, adorable, as a toddler, cute, my teenage years, my body and face did this whole lava lamp thing. What's like you don't
Not
know.
lava lamp.
It's like you don't know what you want to be, what you are. You're still like changing.
Okay.
If you go into my Instagram, you will see that progression
Oh, okay.
of like high school to like culinary school
Right.
to now. Definitely have changed, grown into my looks, but I was very insecure with that because I didn't look like the average American boy.
Right.
And we'll
Does
talk.
he look like the average American boy to you?
He looks like he's out of a Ralph Lauren. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel that? Do you
you have
feel
a place-
that?
I feel that from when I get compliments from people, and I realize my privilege in that. Like I realize I think I'm conventionally good looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine,
Yeah.
and it's great to say that.
Yeah.
I've learned to accept my looks. I feel I get better looking with age. Like a good box wine, just
Damn right.
decent. There's days I have good, bad days.
When I was younger, I feel like there was a long time where I was like
Questioning.
I was really questioning it, and it's so weird because when I think back to it, like I sometimes wish I could go back to my 20s because sometimes I would enter the club and there would just be hands all over me, and I was just like, "Whoa, where is this coming from?"
Right.
You know. And I didn't appreciate
Right.
the attention at that point. I was just like, okay, they're just being creepy or whatever, and I didn't,
Right.
You can always, when you're not confident and when you don't think highly of yourself, you can always twist something around to make it like, oh, they just want this, or they just think this. So yeah, there was a long time, and I even think like I posted a TikTok where I was like, I used to think I was ugly, like I had the glasses, I had the short haircut.
Yeah.
I was much skinnier.
I remember there was this one time when I was maybe 12, and we were my father and I were at a party, and the host was introducing us to another person, and she was like, "This is Alfredo's my dad's name. Was my dad's name, and this is his beautiful son Noel." And it was the first time that I heard someone call me beautiful. And then when I went back home to tell my brother this, he says to me, "Oh, she means you're beautiful on the inside."
Oh, that's so mean.
Hateration.
And to me that
That would
obviously being my age now, I still remember that.
Yeah.
How old was he at the time? Like, what's the age difference?
Between me and my brother.
Yeah.
Is he younger or older?
Older. He's
Okay. So he's a hater, obviously.
Yeah,
So
so he
as
looked-
the oldest of my family, I'm a hater.
he was from my father's side.
Okay.
Not the same mom. My mom
Okay.
my mom would smack the shit out of him.
Big hater.
Yeah,
Big hater.
but he's from my dad's side, so he's going almost on 60 at this point, and I was I was young,
Right.
And to me,
He was messing with you.
that good
hard.
that stood by me. That stuck to me oh, I guess I'm not a beautiful person, and so that triggered down to a lot of being with people because I thought they just liked me, and I just fell for it.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
That sucks.
and dark.
And sad.
Do you feel like people don't take you seriously because of how you look?
I don't know. I feel like I'm just a silly person, so people are like, "What the hell is he doing?" Yeah, I don't know. No, I feel like
serious in
people.
what way?
I don't know.
Huh?
Yeah.
Serious in what way?
Like just in what you say.
In what you say, yeah. Well, also, it could be, do they take you seriously as a partner? Because, do they, you could be so good looking that, oh, this guy is not even anywhere near interested in me as a boyfriend. Let me just see if I can hook up with him. Type of thing. So even in what you say or relationship wise.
Right.
I look at beyond face value. I would take someone seriously if they just have their life in order, the education they have, what they've done with their life aside being attractive. Like when Carlos first hit me up on Tinder, my first reaction was, what the hell do you want? Like, to be honest, I was not looking for anyone.
Right.
I'm like, he's very attractive to me.
Wait, you were on Tinder and you weren't looking for anyone?
You know how I do.
It was just there.
Yeah.
You're giving him a pass. Okay.
I do that.
No,
Problematic.
Yeah.
it was just there. Like a friend of mine was like, just download Tinder and have it, and I did. I'm like, I'm not gonna look. Whoever looks me up, I had a profile, of course, but whoever wanted to meet up with me, he was the first person though. It's not like I had many dates off Tinder.
Right.
So when I saw him, I'm like, what do you want from me?
Right.
Looking like that Dolly Parton song.
So
So and I just
so to clarify for the audience, you were like, you're very attractive. Like, what is this about?
what do you want with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't
Like
trust
there
it all
was
the way.
An
No.
ulterior
Gotcha.
motive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I was like, why do you? Yeah, you're looking like that.
Trying to sell me Bitcoin or something.
right.
I get that from Tinder. That's why I got rid of Tinder. Not too many.
So I was
Bitcoin
very,
bots,
I
but
was
go
very
ahead.
skeptical at the beginning of meeting him. Like, what does this good-looking person want with me? Because I didn't at that time. I was just very up and down with like my physical appearance. I mean, obviously we're together now, but he makes me feel like the man I should be. He makes me feel attractive, even when I don't feel it. That's his good qualities. That's the good stuff.
Emphasize that, yeah.
That's the good stuff, and he validates me. And there's times I'm like, shut up. Like the other day, he's like, you're so beautiful. I'm like, shut up. I'm like, shut up.
You're like, I don't want this right now.
Yeah, and I don't take those comments very well.
Do you, this is a side question, because I've been thinking about this. When you're like hooking up with someone, have they ever just been like, oh, you're so hot?
Yeah.
And I hate that. Because I'm like, can we just hook up? Like, let's just.
Oh, during or before?
Yeah,
you hook up?
during it. Like, you're making it like out.
You're making out?
Yeah. And I'm just like, I appreciate the compliment, but I just want to get down to business. Like, I don't want the compliment. Because
You're like, obviously.
Wait, okay, so
I'm not like a.
He's like,
I don't
obviously.
give out compliments like that. That's not how I am. I'm more someone that will show.
So I have a
will go out
couple
my
of
way
things.
actions,
I have
yeah.
a couple. So I have one is a question and one is a personal
Okay.
statement.
Okay.
But my question to you is like, what does that mean to you when they say that in the moment?
To me, it's like they're shocked that they're hooking up with me. That's how I perceive
Okay.
it.
So they put you on a pedestal.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
how I
like,
feel. Yeah.
Now I gotta perform.
Yeah, like I'm just like, can we just have fun? Like we don't. I'm also just not someone that, like I said, is into compliments like that. I'm more so someone that's gonna show you actions or make quality time with you, like stuff like that.
Actions
so like,
louder than words.
Yeah, like words don't really mean anything to me.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's more actions than
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, like you can say something, but it's like at
Right.
the same time you have to follow that
yeah,
up
it
with
gives
some
me
stuff.
kind of the ick. Like
Yeah.
I'm like,
So I understand that
Yeah.
to some degree because when I would be like talking with people on like different dating apps and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, you're very handsome,"
Yeah.
and I'd be like, "Thank you."
yeah, and you're like, do I have to go back and say that? Like,
Right? It's like, are you fishing for a compliment?
yeah, that's how.
And
yeah.
you know, I've gotten to the point where now I almost will just say it because I feel like sometimes people don't believe that I think that they're attractive.
Yeah.
It's like I've gotten into the habit of just like saying, "Oh, you're," but it's not my natural thing.
Same.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
It feels foreign when I do it. Yeah.
So I don't know. Be happy you're not in the dating field anymore.
I wonder that too.
Because-
How if I was still single today, how
Yeah.
would that work?
Right.
I will be very selective.
Yeah.
I go off a lot of vibes and physical stuff. I mean, of course, I like
Yeah.
attractive men, and that's the thing, men, not boys. And
No
it's-
boys.
And it's funny because I always attract like younger men. I never had anyone older than me.
Okay. Is
Really?
Carlos older?
He's younger than me.
How about younger?
He's 32. I'm 38.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, I guess to get back on topic,
Oh yeah.
we just went on the straight. But you know, it's all about good-looking men, and I
Yeah.
feel like
I think it all plays into it though.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, because it's like if you don't see yourself a certain way,
Right.
and then you start speaking on a subject. And then all of a sudden you get all this backlash, and it's just
Yeah.
like, whoa, wait a minute. You're like, I know I've worked myself up to this level, and I didn't realize.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that this is for everybody. Some people are just very like it's very clear. It's clear as day. shut up.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes it is an honest, like their opinion on a subject is valid.
Yeah, the intentions are right.
Yeah, of
The
course.
intentions are right,
Yeah.
but then it's just like the wrong messenger. Like, case in point, the guy who was on my podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like what he was saying was correct, but I think because he was standard, you know, good-looking
Yeah.
guy, that a lot of people were just like, you can't tell me nothing.
Well, that's just
You know what I'm
jealousy.
saying?
Yeah.
That's just jealousy.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of jealousy.
If you're coming for someone that's giving their opinion about something and it's pretty much valid, but they're attractive, that's your insecurity. That's how you take it.
Yeah.
Like you can't expect what only ugly people should have negative things to say.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's negative.
So then we would never listen to actors who are attractive and be acting,
Yeah.
or would never admire people who are,
Right.
you wouldn't. I don't know. It's just everyone has a platform to say what you want to say,
Right.
whether you're attractive or not.
Yeah. If anything, mute them, block them. That's what I like to do.
Whatever you don't want to see, you can block, and that's
It's
and
very
that's
fun.
the power of social media.
Yeah.
Whatever you don't want to see or read or whatever, you can unfollow, and that's the
Exactly.
wonderful thing about social media.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind.
That's why I don't go on Facebook. That place, cesspool.
I go on it because my
Sad.
family and friends are on there and whatever, and like I see certain things. I'm mostly on Instagram.
Yeah.
But even then, like, there is not much room for critique on there unless you read comments.
Yeah.
And then you can just do this. Swipe,
Yeah.
delete.
Another thing that's played in, like, when I was thinking about it was, like, social issues with good-looking people taking like, seeing an opportunity, like, this is popular online, so let me talk about it to get some traction, maybe get new followers. Sometimes that's how I
It's
see
like
it.
a
As
clout chase.
It's clout chasing,
Yeah.
yeah. Because sometimes it could be like that. Like, they're saying all the right things, but do they truly, are they trying to, like, have an impact or something like that?
I saw someone like that recently on Instagram, and I just followed them. He has his own little, like,
Yeah.
I guess therapeutic Instagram. I believe he probably follows us.
Does it?
And he wears like these little fun earrings all the time.
Fun hearing.
I might know who you're talking about.
So this is a perfect example of that. When I see someone that can be attractive having this platform to like have an opinion, and then the minute that I posted my opinion on the topic,
Yeah.
he was like, "No, this is how I feel about it."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, interesting how you have this platform to say what you want to say."
Right.
And the minute that someone has their own opinion, you don't acknowledge it. Like
Right.
your word is your word, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's not what your platform is for.
Did you think of what you said could have come off as like a you're wrong, but like a little bit combative?
A little bit combative.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's probably why he came back like that.
A little
No, him. He was.
Oh, no, I'm saying was your comment.
No, I was very.
You were just very like, oh, I might disagree, blah, 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 blah.
I didn't even say that. I said, well, this worked for me. This is my opinion, how I feel about it.
You were just giving your 2 cents of like your situation and how you did with
Right,
it. Yeah.
right.
Rather than being like, you're wrong. You're just like, this is what happened for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every opinion that I ever had was a life experience I've had, and
Right.
it's my opinion about it,
Right.
Yeah.
how it
That's
worked for me.
The reason I thought about this was because back to like COVID times, 2020, I remember this gay man posted on his Instagram a selfie and talking about how his friend passed away from COVID and like be safe and all that. But I was like, why did you post a selfie of you crying? Like that's really
That is the weirdest.
I don't-
it's like it's that like that's the kind of stuff I'm like
That stuff bothers me.
yeah,
It
it just
does.
feels like disingenuous.
Like I will see people like posting like booty pics or something, and like
Here's my new
the
watch.
donation link for like
Here's my new watch.
you know
yeah.
Yeah.
Red Cross.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Maybe not Red Cross, but
I
yeah.
always get like a mixed feeling about that kind of stuff because it's like, okay, you're trying to make us aware of something, but you're focusing it on yourself.
Right.
So why are you focusing on yourself?
So
We're
that is
supposed to focus
always
on
yeah,
something else.
that has always been an issue for me. And I used to not like selfies. Like if
Yeah.
you watch one of my old this is maybe 10 years ago when we started having Instagram and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I used to be like, why are you taking selfies?
Right.
pay no attention to my Instagram when you say it. But
Right.
but at the time, I was like, why are you taking selfies? That's so like, self whatever.
If I look back of like 2012, my post, I'm like, oh God.
Everyone will do
that.
that.
I would not do that now.
Social media and the way we post has changed so much from the beginning to now. Even like in a couple of years, you're like, oh, this is like the photo jump trend is so big now compared to how it was years ago. It's more about the aesthetic of making it like fine and like very like catching your
Everything's
eye.
very cohesive.
Now it's more so, let me show you the real me and like just post some stuff.
So
but
one of the things,
still,
I think what I was trying to say, were you?
I was just going to say they're both still around, but it's more common now to do like the filtered self, I would say, like when posting.
I like that.
Yeah. But
no, the point I was trying to make previously was when people will post like a selfie or something and it's like it doesn't match up with the caption.
Yeah.
It's very serious. It's a very
like
serious
how
caption.
I brought it up in the beginning, it was like stay home, like COVID stuff, but it's like showing whole or like their
it's
body.
Like, what are we?
I usually make a joke out
about?
of my selfies that I do on Instagram. Like my recent one, I was in Maryland at a relative's house, and I just loved the lighting in their living room, and I posted myself facing a mirror, and my friend was like, at that point I was going through sciatica issues with my knee.
Ooh.
And he goes, you make sciatica look sexy. I'm like, that's my caption.
That's funny though. But yeah, I think the disconnect is when it had like something's going on in the world, but then you make it about yourself by posting, like making the post in words about yourself or posting a picture. Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, it's very much that. Yeah. But I find that very much turns me off, and like pretty people need to shut the
I love it.
That's our episode. Hopefully you got something out of this. I know it was just like a fun conversation. It wasn't too preachy. We were just talking about our stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on in our community, and we always have an opinion. That's for darn sure. So thank you for joining us. Please support us at anchor.fm/boyfriends. You'll see a link that says support the podcast. So that will help us out, help us to grow, and help us to make this a better quality show. And until next time, if you have no one else,
You have
got
us.
us.